Greetings, my sports to the bone people. Welcome back to another video, my wonderful peeps. So, as we get closer to the date of CWI announcing those two head coaches, well, one would think that we are getting closer to the date, right? They had indicated to us that they were going to make an announcement in early April. And as I am making this video here, we're actually 1 week away from April finishing. So who knows at this moment? Anyways, there's a list here that I have put together that I need to share with you guys. I am just calling it 5 things that the coaches coming in need to do immediately as they sit in that hot seat. I don't know if I envy them for that position at all, my viewers and subscribers, but these are the 5 things that the incoming head coaches need to sort out. And I keep on saying coaches because remember the people from CWI had indicated that they are going to be splitting the roles, right? So they are looking at one person to be the head coach for the test team, and then they're going to have another person for the white ball setup. So, I'm going to talk about the 5 things, and these are just things that I came up with, right? Just my opinion. As per usual, you're open to critique, to agree, disagree, to add a couple more stuff because there are quite a few things that are going to need to be sorted out. So the first thing that I have here that I am thinking of is a conversation needs to be had with all players, right, that are eligible for selection. So I have the 5 pointers, and under each pointer I have a couple of things under there. So the first ones I am thinking about is that a conversation needs to be had with players that are eligible for selection. And when I say players that are eligible, talking about people that meet the criteria. You don't know, come from West Indies, playing at the high, well, playing at a good level, and you know that you want them to be a part of the setup. So you're going to want to talk to them from early. So you're looking at things like let them know that they are being looked at. Let the players know. The players will let them know where they stand, right? You don't want it to be a case where you don't pay a man any attention and then a man just deflect and then you think that you probably did something wrong or you didn't go about it the right way. So from the get-go, the coaches need to let the players know where they stand. I mean, the selectors are the one that going to make the final call, but we know the selectors and the coach. And the coaches, they will talk and all of that. So let the players know that, listen, I am the new head coach here. This is our first start, right? First start. And, as a coach, this is your playing style. And you are a part of a group that I am looking towards bringing into the setup to help to get the playing style going. You see, people like Brendan McCallum went in as the coach of England, has his playing style, right? Ben Stokes took over as captain, and he's similar to the type of person that we know Mr. Brendan McCallum to be. So he will select players that he think will fit in his type of thing. And not saying that the coach will take over selecting, but the coach need to talk. You understand? So that is one of the things. First thing first, a conversation needs to be had between players and the coaches. Gonna do it for the test. The test coach need to do that. And the person that will be coaching the white ball team needs to do that also, especially the white ball team. Red ball players are usually there doing their thing, and once you reach out to them, they are usually available. The white ball is the one that they need to think about. Players gonna want to go all over the place to play, and if you can't tell, if you not saying that you should give anybody any guarantees, but you know, just to let a player know where they stand, where they stand. The next thing that I am looking at is serious conversations with the selectors. So the incoming coaches need to talk with the selectors. Oftentimes as fans, not saying this is what is happening, but oftentimes as fans, we get the feeling that you know, people are pulling in different direction and expecting to come up with the same end goal. You understand? So people pulling in different direction and expecting the same end goal of winning. That's what they expect, it seems. So I am thinking that the two coaches coming in should have a conversation with selectors. Let them know that the good thing is that the selectors are not the only one that have access to the information of, you know, players out there playing. So let the coaches know that, listen, let the selectors know that, listen, we are also seeing these players, and coaches definitely help select the team. So, you know, let them know that, listen, we notice that these guys are doing well, and we don't see them getting selected. What is the issue? We notice that this man is not doing as well as this man, yet still he's been given the opportunity to play in all three formats. What is the issue? But we can only say this. I am not too sure if people going into the job going to want to step over and say things like these. You understand? People don't want to hurt people's feelings. People don't want to lose their work and all of them sort of foolishness. Political and politics and all of them things in the cricket. You understand? I will know that it is not as simple as how we would see it on the paper in terms of the coach, of the selectors and the coaches having that conversation. But you know, I'm just thinking that is something that needs to be looked at. You know, what I would say for number 3, call a meeting, right? Between and invite the immediate stakeholders. You understand? And after that, you also have a meeting, you understand, with as many players as possible. So you're going to have a conversation with the players, whether it be by phone or you know, probably can be by phone when you just go in. CWR, them have access to all of the players, them number. That is how they can call them and tell them that they have been selected. So as the coach, go in, call the players, reassure them, let them know that you see the work that is being put in and whatever. Right? So the third thing that I am saying is call 2 meetings. The immediate stakeholders and then one with the players. When we say immediate stakeholders, we're talking about the heads of regional cricket in terms of people that are in charge of club cricket. You understand? I know that they're not going to reach out, can reach out to everybody at the grassroots level, but at least reach out to people at the club level. You know, find out what is going on, what sort of help can be, you can give. And I know this is a lot. I am asking a lot from coaches, and one might say this is not these things are, you know, they are not responsible for these things, but they can initiate the conversation. You understand? I don't necessarily mean that they need to take it up on their head and be the ones to run and get all of these done. You understand? But they can be the ones to initiate the conversation. Something like the meeting between the stakeholders and then as many players as possible. The coaches can come in can be the ones to initiate that sort of conversation. So that is number 3. Number 4, develop a proper working system with coaches and feeder group. So that would tie into to number 3. So number 4, develop a proper working system with the coaches of the feeder group. And when we say feeder group, we're talking about teams that you're going to select the side from. You understand? So especially the red ball team. Make sure that you know, you have a understanding with the batting coach, the bowling coach, head coach from these places that, you know, even though you're going to select a player based on how their stats, how they're performing, you still want a good working relationship with those people so you can get inside information. So it's like the development process continues when you select a man. You don't want to try and identify the flaws or the strength when the man come to you. You know, you want the information to be transferring. And that is the sort of things that CWI, that is the sort of things that they are trying to do when they talk about the pathway program. When they talk about the pathway program, they are looking at the players coming through at the under 15, under 19 and coming through. So at least they are getting the coaching and, you know, information is there on the players. But not all of these players going to stay in that sort of system. So, you know, if they are out there playing for their clubs and thing, you know, when they get selected, you need the information. You don't want to be starting from scratch. So that is something else that I am looking at, you know, developing that relationship. And the final thing, which I think is probably one of the most important on this list that I have put together. Yeah. Open an online press conference, right? Have an online press conference. You know, so you're going to try and have an online press conference. And in that online press conference, you're going to give people an opportunity to come and ask as many questions as possible. You know, you might get backed up with questions that you don't know the answers for or you don't know. You know, but nothing is wrong with that. So you're going to look into it and get back to the people. But that is one of the first things that I think needs to be done. Have an online press conference. And when I say press conference, I'm not talking about a controlled press conference where you give people the questions that they need to ask. Online press conference where fans are able to come in. You understand? Reporters are able to come in. People that are genuinely interested in the cricket should be able to come in and have a conversation. You know, so this is basically not only to provide information, but also to try and get back the people on their side. You know, if you're following West Indies cricket, you know that there is a lack of trust and a lack of belief going around right now. People don't trust nobody in a CWI and thing because they say that they're selecting team based on this and that, and then they do something different. You understand? Coaches say they're looking for this and that, and then we not see it. So first thing you want to do is try and build up that relationship. You know, once you get back the fans on your side, people will start to go out and watch the cricket. Get people to buy into the system. Not saying that you're going to fix the system or you're going to fix it overnight. That is impossible. But get people to buy into what you are doing. You understand? Sell them something. Not saying that you need to mislead people, but sell the people something. Sell the people, you know, your plan, your goal. And make people try to feel a part. Because when people feel a part, you know, people will more likely give you an opportunity or give you a chance. So those are just some of the things that I am looking at my viewers and subscribers as it relates to what players, you know, what the new coaches coming in should do. So just wanted to reason with you all a little bit on that. So just to remind you of the 5 things: having a conversation with the players that are eligible for selection. You understand? Next thing, number 2, serious conversation between selectors and the coaches coming in. Number 3, I think for number 3 I had calling a meeting with all the stakeholders and then one with as many players as possible. I think for number 4 I had develop proper working system with coaches from the feeder group. And number 5, which I consider to be extremely important, having that online press conference, or, you know, and I say press conference, you know, you come out and you give information, but you listen and make people ask questions. So those are the things, that 5 things. And there are quite a few other things that probably can be done. So, you know, the comment section is open. I will be looking for your suggestions. You know, you can take a look at or listen to the ones that I gave. You know, you can let me know what you agree with, what you disagree with. and we can take it from there. All right, big up on yourself, my peeps, and we will touch base again soon.